Welcome to Whiteboard.fm. Today we're going to interview Tarun Mangukiya, who's the co-founder and CEO at Iconscout, a design resources marketplace which is now acquired by LottieFiles. It is extremely tricky to build a successful company, but Tarun has managed to do that at a very young age. Our episode today is going to take you through his journey of opening up a company as a college student, going through the entrepreneurship route, and much more. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. This is your host Ansh and you are tuning into season 4 of Whiteboard.fm. Welcome to Whiteboard FM, Tarun. We are super excited to have you today.
Thank you, Ansh. Thank you for the chance and opportunity. Thank you.
So, Tarun, we went through your entire LinkedIn and we were like, this guy has achieved too many things at a very young age. And a couple of people would be, completely inspired by your story. My question is that most people try to get a job because of both personal commitments and financial constraints, but you picked the co-founder's route. How was that journey like? Were you not nervous saying no to a stable job and picking the entrepreneurial route?
So I think I'll be honest. So the thing is, I never had a job. So we started this startup. We started Iconscout right after college, right? So I don't know what is called, a stable continuous income or anything. So for me, this was easier, and even the thing was like as we are younger, it's easier to do something and experiment a lot of things. So being young and being right like jumping to startup right after the college made it easier for me to not to have question of stable job or any social pressure for I think initial 2-3 years of my life. Yeah.
But you could have picked any field. Why did you choose to work on a product that revolves around design resources?
Okay, so the thing is, on this, to answer this, I'm from tech background, right? I would say I'm not that much of idea generator. I'm more of an executor, right? So, and usually what happens in our life is like from everywhere we get a lot of ideas and a lot of inspiration. Like so if we are talking here and the earlier chat we had, right? So we have discussed few ideas and then we always think that okay, there is an opportunity to work on this idea. So back in 2016, I and Dalpat. So Dalpat is a close friend of mine, and he came up with the idea that hey, Tarun, let's work on something called the design resources marketplace, right? And I was like, yeah, this can be a good idea to start that. So I actually joined him and his team as co-founder, and I worked on mostly tech part of things, right? So I think even right now, what I look up to is I look up to any idea that's coming and see like how can we execute it well, right? Because I'm a builder, I'm more focused on building part of the things. So yeah, and I think over the time, you and I have got that experience and knowledge and expertise that I do have tons of ideas every single day, and we have to prioritize and execute on them. So it was, I think, suggestion from friend, and we built it. Yeah, right after that.
So your company Iconscout has been acquired by LottieFiles, and that is a huge achievement. Yeah. But how do these things happen? Like, how do you build a company at such a young age and take it to a level where it gets acquired by someone as big as LottieFiles?
So the thing is, one thing that I learned from the journey was not to give up. Okay, it's been 4 years since we started Iconscout, and we started really small. We started as a bootstrap startup, and we never took an investment, right? And that was the reason we were pretty much focused on building things and executing what users always wanted, right? So users come like, and this also happens right now that users come to us with problems that they are facing. While they're using Iconscout, right? So what we focus on is building those features and building or fixing those things first rather than even thinking about monetization, right? So I think the reason why we got acquired was over the past 4 years, we focused pretty much on what our users wanted, right? And Iconscout is all about design resources. So, and contributor community that we have. So we, since beginning, we were focused on high quality design resources because we ourselves are designers, right? And we tried to have as many contributors as possible on Iconscout, right? So, and due to that, right now we have around 3.6 million plus design resources from 1,400 plus contributors, right? And we are approving literally 3,000 plus assets every single day. That includes Saturday, Sunday also. Right. So the main reason I don't know whether we are successful or not, but the main reason we were able to make it because we were focused on users, what they want, and the quality of the product. Right. I think those are the things and that made us this.
So, Tarun, as entrepreneurs, even as designers, even as creators, feeling energetic and being in a state of flow is really important. So, how do you manage
Mhm.
your energy and different states of mind?
Technically, this is really difficult to answer. Like, I think everyone might have, I think, different ways of, solving a problem or maybe coming out of those situations. So I think over the past 4 years, we have been through a lot of these situations. And for me, one of the top things that helped me to calm down or let's say even focus or figure out how to do this thing was having a set of teams, having a set of inspired people, whenever I'm confused or whenever, anyone is confused in the team, right? So we become pretty much open about whatever we felt. It can be, we might be depressed or we might be confused on how to solve this, right? So one thing that helped us was certainly having those set of people with me for sure, right? Then one of the thing was why you started, right? We already, let's say, invested 2 years, 3 years of our life on Iconscout, right? So certainly answering that question or even revisiting that answer helps us to even have that focus and keep working on whatever is there. And one more thing I think that I saw in some of some of our team members was hard working, that the nature of working hard, right? So we have a few set of members who can work 24/7. Even if you wake them up 4 a.m. in the morning or even 5 in the morning, they'll be able to solve the problem that's there, because over the past 4 years we have faced a lot of issues, not just let's say user issues, but let's say tech issues, server going down and stuff like that. So being strong, having open communication with team members and working hard, I think those are the things that help me to go through those ups and downs of our life. And I think I do personally believe that there will always be ups and downs, right? And many times the journey that matters, right? Like just enjoying even when you are sad, enjoying with your friends and the team members that's there. So I think, yeah.
But you spoke about being mentally strong. How do you do that? How do you increase your mental strength?
Honestly, okay, so this is something I do usually. So whenever I'm sad, so I mean, sad as in, in a state where I don't know what should I do, right? So, and this is something, being a developer, I used to do a lot. So whenever I'm confused in any problem that I'm solving, okay, that's coding problem or algorithmic problem, anything, right? So I used to, and this is something that everyone says. So we should just, go out of that problem and, explore something else. Right. So for me, and when I was in this situation, when I was in this situation, I used to, when I feel, okay, this is frustrating and now I should not take it forward. Right. So many times even, just going out and watching a small clip or 10-20 minutes, it can be funny. It can be, whatever we like. Right. So I love a few shows on Netflix or YouTube, right? TVFA or in our own Indian version. Then I love BBT season, right? So and Rick and Morty and other seasons, right? So what I do is whenever I feel frustrated or anything, I just go and open up any episode of any season and just watch it and feel light for a while. It won't solve a problem, but it will give me a strength to solve the problem, So and then it becomes easy, because now we are re-energized and we have that energy because we had some amount of fun, right? And then we might be able to give it one more shot, and it worked. Like in most of my tech challenges, it has worked. And last challenge, I think, yeah, it should work too, right?
What were your top three misconceptions or false beliefs about the world of entrepreneurships and startups?
First and foremost, it's easy. We believe that, okay, being your own boss or like working on something that you like, or the word we call passion, right? We feel that, okay, it's easy, right? The real thing about entrepreneurship is that we are here to do what is needed, maybe not what we like, right? So sometimes there can be many things, let's say finance, legal, even doing payrolls, right? So you might not like it, right? But you need to do it, right? So from my perspective, entrepreneurship is more about doing what is needed, doing and solving the problem which is there, right? So it's not that easy. You gotta do what you cannot do, or you gotta try what cannot you don't even know, right? Second thing that I learned was certainly as a developer or as an engineer or as a even designer, right? Our mindset is we can build things, right? So it will work, right? But that's not the usual case, because the product is only successful when few people use, or let's say let a set of people use it, right? So certainly selling skill is also as important as building the product, right? So even that was the reason like we took so long to get to like many users in Iconscout, right? So we are really good builders, right? But we didn't have that much selling skills that was needed, right? So I think that is the second learning, that okay, building matters, right? But you gotta go out and sell the product. You gotta talk to hundreds of people and get a reviews, or even ask them like, will you pay for this thing or not? That matters. And third thing, I think that is again a misconception, because we are product people. Was we feel that product is everything. We always think that product comes first, right? But I learned that rather than product, is people comes first, right? And this is even something that Patrick Collison, the Stripe CEO, he says that for me, the least worry is about product. I'm the least thing I'm worried about is product, right? I'll more focus on the people who are with me. That's building and having the strong team matters more than even sometimes having that idea, right? Because for me, I didn't have that idea, right? But was a person who had an idea of starting an Iconscout, right? But now we are successful, So the team matters, right? And then idea, and then maybe figuring that out how to do it, and the strategies and stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Those were like really deep points. Any specific advice that you'd like to give to even like designers or engineers who are trying to build new things? Any advice that you wish you had known when you just started out?
I think so. I think that is something we can pick up from even the conversation we had. So I think building matters, but focus on selling like how we will sell this product. Focus on the market size, and how many people your product will like. How many people will use your product, right? So I think there is. When you go to an incubation center, right? So they have the whole initial program, right, where you figure out business model, where you do a SWOT analysis and stuff like that, right? So figure the market size and stuff like that, right? So those things I think are useful to get clarity on like how many users will use your product, and what is your targeted audience, how much revenue can you reach, right? Because sometimes even we do not know like whether we can, like we are not even clear about who is our target or audience. And that's many times one of the challenges that startup faces, right? Second thing is whenever you are building, let's say you have for 6 to 8 months, right? And then we feel that, okay, this is not working, right? But there is this another problem that we might be able to solve, right? And this has happened with a lot of startups that they have pivoted, right? So they have this one idea and then they got to another and then they work on, right? And if we go and read a lot of like books, then we'll find that, okay, like people have actually like even before, let's say, starting Instagram or maybe Airbnb or Stripe, right? People like the founders have, they were trying to solve other problems, but they ultimately, came to this problem and they tried to solve this problem, right? So the thing that matters is keep looking at problems and, finding the solutions for that, the curiosity part. So I think, I mean, there can be a lot of things that I can say, but yeah, this things matter. Selling things, looking at the market and who your targeted users are, and not maybe sometimes, sticking to a same problem for longer period, pivoting and being flexible about the problem also. That can be helpful.
Awesome. How can people connect with you, Tarun? Like, where can people find you and find more about your work?
I think mostly Twitter. I'm like more active on Twitter nowadays, so Twitter can be the place to reach me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show, Tarun. I think you mentioned a couple of points, and I think you're one of our rare guests who's spoken about entrepreneurship and building And that too, you have built a product that is so popular and so successful in the design community. So we are super happy to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to end by saying lines by Naval. So he always mentions that selling is important, right? But if you are a builder, you can later on add up selling skills, right? So always focus on building, right? So always have that core skill, which is building. It can be coding, it can be designing, it can be anything, right? But if you can build it, then you can later on learn how to sell it. Or yeah, so building matters, right? And I think like our targeted audience is mostly designers and developers, right? Tech people. So I think we are in the right zone. We can do it. It's just that we have to go out and learn the selling. That's it. Yeah.
So I would like to tell my audiences that Tarun is talking about Naval Ravikant, and if you don't follow him, I would recommend you to check out his thread on how to get rich. And there's this artist on Spotify. His name is Akira the Don. So Akira the Don has made a music album out of Naval's podcast, and there is a song which is called "The Builder and the Seller." So I would recommend everyone to listen to that music. So Tarun is talking about that exact tweet. So it's going to change your life, especially if you're a builder.
Yeah, tweet, and plus there is 3 hours of session, a podcast on Spotify. It's phenomenal. Everyone who wants to get into startups or entrepreneurship or even build something, they should, even anything you are doing, okay, go and spend that 3 hours of your life listening to that. And for me, I just started it 2 weeks back. I think I would love to repeat it every single year or every 6 months, because it's a phenomenal piece of advice by Naval.
Awesome. Cool. But yes, thank you so much, Tarun. Won't take too much of your time. I hope you have a terrific year ahead, and I hope that your startup just grows and grows.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Ansh.
You just finished an episode from whiteboard.fm. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because we are coming up with interviews and design reviews that will help you accelerate your growth as an upcoming product designer. This podcast is a part of the 10K Designers Network. Check out our website whiteboard.fm to learn more.